What's going on, everybody? Stained Glass Assassin here. Just getting back from the gym, so I gotta go shower up because I'm pretty stinky. But I just want to take a minute and post a video up because I saw a commercial while I was at the gym. It's fresh on my mind, so I wanted to do it, about Black Widow. And then I remember reading an article this morning with my coffee about the kind of box office weekends, week 2. So I pulled up the article so I could read the update. And it says here that Disney Marvel's Black Widow narrowly led the international box office for Hollywood films this weekend, grossing an additional $29.9 million from 48 material markets. That's a 55% drop from opening, which most agree is decent, even if there's no getting around the fact that these are not marvelous numbers. The overseas total is now even at 132, making it, a $264 million global gross. Of course, they talk about Disney did not break out their streaming figures this time around because I know Disney Plus is going to play a big role with these numbers, but I don't trust Disney Plus numbers. I mean, they're going to adjust them to fit their narrative, but I'm just going to focus on box office because, again, we'll never know the true numbers on this. Now, I bring this up because I made a video a few weeks ago talking about the MCU Phase 4, the films portion of it, and how I thought that it's going to be a rocky start for them. I don't think Black Widow was the best movie to start with, even though I didn't think this movie would be a bomb. Shang-Chi is going to be tough to get people to go see, and I think Eternals will be their first official flop in the sense of losing money. And I bring that up specifically because someone pointed out today that they said, well, hey, Black Widow at least made its money back because it grossed, as of right now, $264 million. Now, again, I don't think Black Widow will be a flop money-wise in the sense of, it'll lose money. Again, I think that Eternals will be the first movie to lose money, but I went and double-checked the budget, and it says that it's a $200 million budget. So, of course, if it's at 264, the logic is that, okay, it made its money back. But I've always read that whatever the budget is, you'd have to take half of that, at least that's the baseline, take half of that, add it to the total, and that's the number you need to get to essentially not lose money. So for Black Widow, it would have to be roughly $300 million to not lose money. And I wasn't really sure about that, but I remember when people said that Solo, a Star Wars movie, lost money, I remember thinking immediately, how could that be? Because, let me pull that up, it said here that it has roughly a $300 million budget, but it made $393 million. So it would seem as though it made its money back. But if you follow the logic of the advertising, marketing, distribution kind of factor, and cut that number in half and add to the total, then it would have to make $450 million. So that makes sense now. I guess even if you were going with the 275, that'd be what, 137.5. So yeah, it still had to be like 412 million to make its money back, which it did not. It made 393. So I believe that kind of baseline standard. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm not in the industry, so I don't know how true that is. But it definitely seems to fit the narrative. I see a lot of films, John Carter, The Lone Ranger, some of those other movies that really flopped because the advertising and marketing really cost a lot of money. So back to Black Widow, of course, I do think this will get up to $300 million in the box office. It's at 264. I'm sure it'll trickle up to the 300 over the next 4 or 5 weeks. 55% drop is a pretty big drop. Of course, that number will probably continue to drop. That's usually what you see, the trend. I doubt that this movie has enough rewatchability for people to go back for a second showing. But I think the telling thing here, though, is, okay, so the second week saw a big drop-off, and that's probably because everybody that was interested in this movie already saw it. I don't think, Disney obviously didn't release their streaming numbers because those numbers probably aren't as sexy either, but there's probably not as many people just kind of hanging around saying, well, let's go see Black Widow. I heard good things about it, And again, it doesn't have much replay value. So the fact is Disney probably killed their chances of getting a lot of those on the fence people, because how many articles came out leading up to this movie about, ScarJo talking about, oh, I was over-sexualized and men are bad and woke is good. And then we had the article about how swapping the gender from Taskmaster, being a man to a woman was, empowering, and it definitely fit the narrative. And then they showed that it was actually a man playing that character until they took the helmet off, and then they just swapped out male and female. I mean, it wasn't even a female stunt double. So they probably lost a lot of credibility there, trying to, beat their chests. But I don't know. Like I said, Someone just brought this up to me while we were working out, and then I saw the commercial, so I thought, I'll make a quick video about it. But this is probably not the start that the MCU wanted. I mean, if this was like a $500 million, $600 million, worldwide gross, they'd be able to beat their chest and say this was a huge success. This will probably just limp back to making their money. Again, the Disney Plus numbers we'll never truly know, but it's nowhere near what they hoped it could be. And again, they missed their opportunity. This movie probably would have been a $600 million movie had it been released in the correct time slot, which would have been Captain Marvel's time slot, or release slot, I guess. But I don't know. Moving forward, we'll see what happens with Phase 4 because, again, Shang-Chi and then Eternals are the next two movies coming out, so could be a rough start. I could be wrong, but I don't think these numbers are going to get any better moving forward for Black Widow, so we'll just have to see. But anyway, like I said, I just want to make a quick video of that before I go wash my stinky self. Go ahead and let me know what you think down in the comments. Did you see the movies at any good? Do you think these numbers are telling, or do you think that the numbers will get better? Either way, like and subscribe so you know when the next video comes out. And until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.